Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all. Mini skirt on, dip my body
Hello. You're now tuned in to the A Little Bit a Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another episode. So excited this week because I'm joined by the one, the only, Gerald Lee. Say hey.
Hi, a little bit of lotters. How's it going out there?
Oh my God. How are you today?
Literally so happy. I got no sleep last night. It was really like a night before a field trip situation. Like I was just like kicking my feet and like my little toes. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm literally gonna be on this podcast because I've consumed your content nonstop since we crossed paths like 6 months ago, a year ago. I don't know. Time's insane. I feel like I've known you my entire life.
Same.
But yeah,
Time
no,
has
I'm
been flying.
so happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Hi, Janae. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kristen's dad. How are y'all? Just the red tape from Gerald. How's it going?
No, not the family shout out.
Huge fan of their work. Huge fan of their collective work.
No, like this is seriously like a meta moment because like me and Gerald, we always like kiki, and support each other's content. So like having you, cross paths with me and like having you like on my like support system just always gives me like the energy I need to like keep going. Like you always give me like such great feedback. Like your content is amazing. I always value like your thoughts and opinions. Love looking at like your content on YouTube as well. Like it's just been so amazing like seeing you grow, and I knew that we needed to collab. So like I felt like what better for us to collab and talk about the film Mean Girls.
Let them know. What are we doing here today?
No, literally, like this is a 2004 cult classic, and I'm like, you know what? This is like the perfect episode for us to literally kiki about because watching it in 2025 was a crazy experience. And I'm like, we need to get into it, no doja, but like the fact that you're here right now, for those who don't know, Gerald Lee has over 15K on TikTok, okay? Like big stepper teens. Like you're literally foot on neck, can't breathe, like when it comes to being a powerhouse content creation machine. And it's only going to go up from here. Professional podcast guest, you know what I'm saying? Like he is turned up.
Queen, whoa. Beautiful. Put that on my tombstone, bro. Like,
no, literally. He is turned up.
Beautiful. I'm crying.
No, literally. So yes. So let's just get into it. I want us to really get into talking about this film because there was some things that I was like, wait, what? Like that happened?
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've last seen this film?
I am gay, so once a year. Like this movie is in a near constant rotation. Because I know I need to remember my roots. Where I came from, because 2004 was a year to be alive.
Period. Okay, so you're like an annual watcher.
Yeah, I keep current with it. I'm such a purist that I haven't even watched the remake, like with Renee Rapp.
The musical?
I haven't touched it.
And I'm stupid with love. I'm gonna get it. Me and Janae watched it and we were like laughing the whole time. We're like, dang, this kind of sucks. No shade, no tea. We did not enjoy it. We finished it, but we were like, ugh.
Yeah. No. And wasn't there a sequel? Like,
yes, there's a Mean Girls 2.
I'm very unfamiliar with their game.
It's like we need to just keep the original material as the original material. Okay, Mean Girls 2, okay, but the musical? What do we need that for?
The musical? The series? Like, what?
High School Musical, the series. Like, it's gotten out of control.
When does it end?
No, for real.
Tokyo Drift, It's like, what the hell does the Fast and Furious franchise have to do with this?
No, for real, because like that's what the Mean Girls like franchise is becoming at this point, and it's like let's not lose the original plot, right?
No.
Let's just keep it as 2004 and call it a day. The Lindsay Lohan is just like, this is my second Lindsay Lohan film that I'm talking about on this channel. First was Life Size, and it's like once again iconic material. She's giving the girlies.
Tens.
Yes. I'm like, okay. So before we get into it, I always say
Mm-hmm.
if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment down below to let me know what you think about this classic film and subscribe. Okay, we're almost to 800 subscribers.
Get her there. Get her there. I can only make so many accounts, you guys. I'm running out of usernames and email addresses. She deserves
Exactly.
100. She deserves like 3 more zeros, 4 more zeros behind that follower count. Get to work.
You heard it here, folks. Okay. Like, we need to hit that 1K. All right. Like, we talk about mental health, pop culture, music, movie, TVs. It's your literal one stop shop for everything. And you don't want to miss out on that. Okay. Like, you don't want the FOMO. So, like, just join the gang. Turn the post notifications on Spotify, Apple, rate that 5 stars and leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. Period. So, when it comes to Mean Girls, the film,
Mm-hmm.
I every time October 3rd comes around and we start seeing the memes on October 3rd, he asks me what date it is. I'm like, I forget about it every October
Every
3rd.
time. Every time.
And I'm
Every
like,
time.
dang, it's October 3rd. So that's what made me be like, oh, I need to talk about this film. So
Uh,
technically, I forgot that this is a Halloween movie. For real, if you
mm-hmm.
really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think
The
about it, it's a
Halloween
Halloween
scene, the
film.
Halloween party.
Exactly. So I'm like, dang. So let's just pretend that this episode is being uploaded on October 3rd. That was really
Mark
the
it, set a calendar, rewatch.
exactly. So that's kind of what inspired me to be like, okay, let's talk about
That's
this because it's
so
like
funny.
that made me think about it. And then it's like the Halloween party of it all. It just feels like a Halloween film.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we first start the film, we see that we have the main character, Cady. She is from Africa and she's homeschooled, right? Okay, she be with the elephants, like she be turned up, what I'm saying, with the wildlife. And her parents were saying, you know what, we need to go, you need to go to normal school, like public school. Let's do this. The second that
Mm-hmm.
Katie touches down and goes to the school, we are a minute 55 seconds into the film, and she almost gets hit by a bus in the street in front of the school.
Pancaked her like seconds into the movie.
Literally,
She's
that would have took
unprepared.
me. I would have been like, I'm going back home.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go deal with the elephants, the zebras. You know, I'm gonna go back to my little boo thing because she had a little boo thing. You
Right.
know, for school. But anyways,
Like what? And like turning around to her parents being like, ooh.
it's
like
like, and the way they were so patronizing to her, like you really think they're talking to a toddler. You know, they're like, "Here's your
right.
money. Ask the big kids where to buy milk."
Like,
What?
girl.
Maybe we should have just kept her home. What are we doing here?
Exactly, because I don't really think that I think they underestimated fully the public school system
Oh
and
yeah,
like fully did not have her prepared. And it was almost like throwing her to the wolves.
straight up.
Katie was thrown to the wolves, and it kind of, you know, me. I'm gonna make everything introspective, tie it down to my personal experience and mental health aspect of it all. And I'm like, damn, no Gordon Ramsay. Whenever I say damn, I say it like Gordon Ramsay does. Um, I'm
So
like, bro,
Britishly.
yeah, damn. I was
Okay,
like, this
okay.
reminds me literally of my high school experience. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for those who don't know, I went to a charter school. So,
Ooh.
even though it's not like homeschool in any capacity, I feel like it's like a smaller school. We're funded in like different ways,
Yeah.
like underfunded, whatever the freak. I don't really know all the other technical ways that makes a charter school different, but it is. And I just feel like it has like a different culture than a public school does.
Absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of the kids are more like, I don't know, just less intense at charter schools, at least at the one I
Ah.
went to.
Sure, sure.
So once I graduated, I went to this charter school from first grade to eighth grade, and then I went to ninth grade and I had to go to a high school. It was a culture shock for me. So I felt like I was stepping into like a time machine, like watching Katie experience like public school for the first time because it felt like my experience. You pull up,
Mm-hmm.
there are children everywhere. Right? That's not what I was used to at the charter school. We came in, we
Mm-hmm.
immediately went to class. There's no hanging out in the front of the yard. People are bumping into you. Getting used to having a school bell was something new for me. The first time I heard a
Mm.
school bell, I almost literally died from a panic attack. I
No,
was like, why is
Kristen.
this so loud? I was scared, scared, scared for my life.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, it's just a different beast. And like I remember when I first walked into my class, I thought I was in the wrong class because there was this dude named, dang, I don't want to say it. Let's just say his name's Tom. He looked
Tom.
old as hell. So I thought that I wasn't in the right class because I'm like, there's no way that there's this grown man in this
Right.
class. And he ended up being
Right.
like best friends with my boyfriend. So like he cool or whatever. But Tom, I'm like, am I in the right place? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's
Is
going
this night
on?
school, or did you like what's going on
Literally,
here?
turns out he had flunked a grade, so technically he did look older than all of us, right? Because he was supposed to be in a grade higher. And then I sit
Mm-hmm.
down, and unfortunately, I have to sit next to him and this other girl. They had already been like cool with each other, so it almost felt like I had like a Janice and like Damien situation where they're like, "Hey, girl, like, what's your name? You new here?" He immediately starts trying to hit on me. I'm overwhelmed, right? Because I'm
They would give you
like,
no peace.
literally, like this old man is how I felt, right? Is trying to hit on me, and I'm overstimulated, and I don't
Uh-huh.
even, I'm feeling like halfway to the class I still feel like I'm in the wrong class because
Mind you, I'm a
why does he
freshman in
look
high
so
school.
old?
Yeah.
Literally. But
Uh-huh.
sitting next to a technical sophomore. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like scared for my life and like navigating like where to go for the classes. Like when we're in a charter school, we move from class to class as one. Like we all line up and then they're like, all right, guys, you're going to your next teacher, and we move together. But when
Mm-hmm.
I went to ninth grade, it's like, no, honey, you
Oh
got to
yeah, they
figure
set
out
y'all
where to
up.
go
Yeah, they
across
set y'all up.
the
Mm-hmm.
school to figure out where to go to class, and you better get there on time before that bell rings again. And then on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, leaving and then going to find your bus. I was a parent pickup kid my whole life, so I never had to catch no bus. And,
Mm-hmm. That's a whole other world of it in and of it. Like, thank God she walked home. If she was a bus rider, they'd have ate her up.
because even
Katie Heron
navigating,
would not have survived.
right, because bus politics are a separate entity that people don't talk about when it
Bus
comes to high school.
politics. Get
People have
into
their seats, and you don't know when you're new, oh, this is so and
nope.
so seat.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm like, what do
Uh
I do?
huh.
Where do I go? Who's going to be my bus buddy? Is
Right.
anybody going to look out for me? Learning how, like, you literally almost slide over for your life and you got to dig that foot in the ground so you don't literally tumble
Fall into
over
the. Mm-hmm.
when the bus hits a curve. It's
Mm-hmm.
like hits a turn. It was so much. Even navigating lunchtime. We go to lunch together as a class. And then come, and
Dang.
our teacher would pick us up, and then we come back to class together. I gotta navigate. Okay, A lunch, B lunch, C lunch. What time do I
Oh,
go to
don't even get
lunch?
me started.
So seeing Cady go through that experience on her first day was literally like Gagatron.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
Almost trauma. I was like, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to pause. I need to go. I need to call my therapist. I need to work through this real quick. And we're 2-3 minutes into the movie.
literally. So like I totally felt her pain. And then like even
Mm-hmm.
down to like when she had to eat lunch in the bathroom. I've talked about it before, but I've had a lunch in the bathroom moment. Unfortunately, my junior year when I went to a new school,
Uh-huh.
child, I ate lunch in that bathroom for a couple times before I found my people.
Queen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go build a time machine. I'm gonna go back in time. I'll hang out with you, girl. I'm gonna sit with you at the table. That's so
I
sad. But
know.
it's
Like,
so. But it's so. It's to your point. I feel like I've watched this movie for what 20 something years now, and never once did I think she was being over dramatic. Right? Like,
yeah.
never once have I not sympathized with her. Like, I'm always like, yep. To this day, that is the titular high school new kid experience.
Right.
Especially coming in at a higher grade level.
Exactly.
Sophomore year, nuts. Junior year, you're asking for it. All right.
And that's crazy to think that she was a junior, and like me being in a new school freshman year and then having to go to another new school junior year, like I literally can feel her pain. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's not an exaggeration. She's not being over dramatic. It is that brutal. It
Mm-hmm.
is that hard. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
you think, okay, it's a movie, it's going to be like over dramatic, but it's like, no, there's nothing dramatic about anything that they experience because there are high school experiences that are just like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that was
Mm.
spooky. Her eating like lunch in the bathroom.
Spooky.
And then like her
Spooky. She
coming
looked
home.
comfortable though, you know. I was like, at least she's
Right.
like cozy in there. She's like
Exactly.
me. I'd be
Lunch
like,
tray.
yeah, I'd be like a goblin in that thing trying to eat my walking tacos or whatever the hell they serve the kids these days.
No, for real, because why our bathroom stall so small, dude? Like,
Because it's a humiliation ritual. But hey.
no, literally, to use the bathroom. It's a
Mhm.
ritual. But then, like,
Yep.
after that, we clearly see that, like, Cady goes to the gags. She almost gets hit by a bus on her first day. She has to eat lunch alone. And then by the time she comes home, her parents ask her how's her first day. And her being frustrated and not even having an answer is so real.
Didn't
Because
she
high
also get stuck
school,
behind the farty kid? Didn't she also get stuck behind the kid that like just was
yes.
whipping ass? Not a good first day.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I put in my notes, high school will ruin you if you let it. Like it really will.
Uh-huh.
And then we fast forward to the moments where we have like Regina George, she ends up getting like Cady gets stopped in front of the table with the plastics. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like harassed by Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wondered why Regina asked Cady to sit with them. Like what about that interaction with her being harassed by Jason like made her interested in her?
She's because I think at her core, which we discover at the end of the movie, is she is a girl's girl. She was just extremely misguided about it. Like once she joins that lacrosse team, she is a girl's girl. She was just going about it the wrong way,
You know
you
what?
know.
That's a great way to think about it. Like that
And
truly humanizes her.
it really and not to push the lesbian agenda here, but she goes to play what field hockey or something like that.
I know. I was like, what is
Gay
that?
lesbian activities. And so, why was she so nervous that Janice might have had a crush on her? Internalized homophobia. In this essay, I will talk about how it.
No, literally, clock it. Okay,
So,
that's an interesting theory. Like Regina being
yeah.
deeply closeted is a different type of theory. And I think you're
Huh.
right. That makes so much sense. Like if her being like at the end of the day a girl's girl and seeing like, okay, she's being harassed by this gross man. Plus she already has beef with Jason because Jason's been playing in
What
Gretchen's
he's
face all
doing.
year.
Exactly.
So that makes
Exactly.
sense. That makes sense. So that was really interesting to see Regina take her into her fold, and
Mm-hmm.
learning all of the rules of like what they can and can't do. On Wednesdays we wear pink, iconic line.
And they lost me after that one. Okay. I can only wear sweatpants on Wednesdays.
Literally, and I can only wear my hair in a ponytail once a week.
Who's keeping track? Who's keeping tally?
That is too much, bro.
Yeah. Who's the historian? Who's the accountant of the grup? Who's the one
Gretchen
keeping
can't
track?
wear hoop earrings.
And her
I'm
parents got
like,
her a really expensive pair for her.
and I had to pretend I didn't like them.
Her life is so hard.
Bro, I was like, okay, per. So at this point, we see Cady is really getting in with the plastics, and she is meeting with Janice and Damien, and they're like, girl, we want you to infiltrate the plastics at this point. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that was really interesting to see that Janice has a hidden agenda because of the rumors that Regina started. So Katie's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm innocent and unassuming. I guess I'll keep hanging out with these girls. Then we
Mm-hmm.
get the get in loser. We're going shopping. They go shopping. That's iconic. And like clearly Miss Katie girl needed it because her showing up to school on Wednesday in Damien's pink polo.
Please. Her walking through the mall, swimming in that shirt. I was expecting it to trip her. It was given it hangs low, wobbles to her toes, tied in a
No.
knot, tied in a bow, whatever Young Jock said. I don't know. Because what was she doing?
Bro, she thought she ate. Give me that plate,
Sh-
Katie.
get, because she thought she was Dorito licking, but she was not. There was no dust, not a crumb on her fingers.
No, for real.
They couldn't even hit her with like a like how girls be doing that, like they tie it up in the back, they tighten it. Not girl, you got a silhouette, body
No,
and you over
literally.
here just like
Regina should have gave her a hair tie. Like, what's
no,
going on?
a shirt or something. The girl's from Africa, for crying out loud.
I mean, for real. So that was kind of sick to see. I'm like, oh, right, okay. So they go to the mall, and then after they go to the mall, then they go back to Regina's house. I just wanted to take a moment for Regina's house because holy
Regina's
moly.
house. What is going on there?
I mean, you walk in, her sister, la 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 la. Her sister's name being Kylie is so iconic. Hey, Kylie.
It's it's the way this entire movie had no concept of what it was going to do culturally, and how frame for frame this movie has impacted the brainworms. They haven't been fed since. They're starving.
It's like like you said, every frame is a pop culture reference at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I was watching with Juwan and he was like, that's inappropriate. Like seeing Kylie dance to milkshake.
Yeah, I'm glad Jawan clocked that, because that's how you're supposed to feel. The full parent, okay?
Literally. I'm like, okay, right. Like, should she be watching that music video? I have to go back and watch the video myself. But the way
An
she was
easy no,
dancing,
mama. It's an easy no.
I was like,
It's an
holy
easy no.
crap. Her
Because
mom. Go
there's
ahead.
a later scene. There's a later scene where she's watching a Girls Gone Wild ad, and she
What?
goes, "Yes,
Okay,
mama, yes."
I missed that one. I don't know how
It's
I
later
missed it.
on. It's later on. I don't remember like. I think it's when she goes home to write the burn book or whatever. Like whenever she decides to burn it all down, and like she's
Okay.
like storming through the house, and it cuts to what's her name?
Kylie.
Kylie. It cuts to Kylie, and she's like, "Woo!" And then like you see the ad like playing in the background, and I was just like,
Holy
2004 was another world.
yeah, and I think that that's why I was like telling Juwan when watching this that like there are so many moments in here where you like okay you could feel that this is 2004 because
Uh,
there are like inappropriate like racist undertones that are being put in this film, of course, like when Katie's new and then they're like, oh, we have a student from Africa, and they pan to the black girl and she's like, I'm from Michigan. Like that's not flying in 2025,
as a
sweetie.
child, that made me like I knew I had to be like 9 years old in 2004. I think I was just like,
Oh, like,
even I
whoa.
knew better.
And
Even
then
I knew better.
right. Or even like her like spilling coffee, the teacher turning around, shirt up, principal walks in, your teacher's tits are
Student touching.
out.
Y'all are all going to jail right now. Wrap it up.
Exactly.
Wrap it up. And the way he stared at her before he walked out.
Right. I was like, okay. So it's like we can't not address that there are like racial undertones, not even just against black people, but like the Asians. There's
Uh huh.
stereotypes in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
A lot
like,
of isms, racism, uh,
exactly.
homophobism. I don't know where I was going with that one, but
Oh,
you know,
oh, for real, literally.
the teacher hooking up with the student, like they really like it. Really, it came out at a time at a perfect time. You know,
Yeah, where all of those jokes and things that they put in there were like socially acceptable at the
they
time.
hit. Yeah,
Yeah, so then you're like, dang, well, that's crazy.
yeah, and now it's like, just gonna. It's getting a little hot in the room, huh?
Exactly. Like it makes it kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard for me when I'm like watching these like classics, but it's like that's what made
Mm-hmm.
it good at the time. Sometimes, you needed that touch of that racism where you're like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. This is where I'm. This the good old days, as they say. You know,
Exactly.
I
It's
want to
like,
go back to the
oh
good old days when racism was still slightly funny. Said every white person ever. You
no,
know, like
right. Literally. I was like, oh my God. But as a kid, I always wanted Regina's room because her saying, it was my parents' room. I made them give it to me. Like,
can we break down that room?
cunt.
First of all, who
Like,
are you?
what?
If my for okay, I can't even talk about parenting her because we could see why she is the way she is. Let's
Yeah.
break down that room for a second because I would too demand that from my parents. The balcony. First of all, the balcony. I'm like, that's clearly got to be CGI, but still beautiful. I just picture myself on the balcony looking at the views, and then her bathtub's like in the floor. Like when it pans to the bathroom, it's
Yeah.
like a sunken hot tub. I just She was not worthy.
She wasn't. It was absolutely incredible. And I'm like, dude, she had a teenage dream of a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimately, it was iconic, and I always wanted her room. Like them after they leave the mall, going into Regina's room, and like they're all looking in the mirror and they're judging themselves. I felt like that part was like so sick, of course. And now I'm like, as an adult, being like, dang, like now Katie's learning about self hate for the
Yeah.
first time. Like that's high
Clearly.
school for you.
And how could her parents have prepared? Like, even if she was raised in America through the system, like, how do you prepare a kid for that? Like,
Right. And when you think about these concepts, like I said, looking at it from an adult lens, that is
mm-hmm.
very, very heavy. And that is
Yeah.
a lot to process in that moment
Yeah.
where they're looking at her expectingly, being like, well, what do you hate about yourself? Like,
And what does
girl,
she say?
nothing.
And what does she say? I have bad breath in the morning. They
Like, you
said,
wish.
ew.
That was the only bad thing about you. Okay.
Like, they said, keep a couple wet wipes in case a bad breath bitch try to touch me. Like, because what does their breath smell like in the morning? If not a little hot. She brushes her teeth, clearly. Anyways. I didn't like the
Literally.
judgment they gave her for that one. She was being
Yes.
real. She's like, I hate the way my pinky toe curls up. Like, like, what's she supposed to say?
Right. I'm like, that is so sad. And that's like the first glimpse where you finally like see that, like, okay, Regina's just literally a teenager, right?
Right.
She's literally a child. And I think
Right.
I had paused at that point in the film, and I'm like talking to Juwan, and I'm like, that's when I really realized, like, these are just children.
Literally.
These are children going and like dealing with societal beauty standards.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end
In
of the day,
2004, there
right.
was no room for fat. There was no room for any color of any type. There was no room for, like, those three girls were the standard.
Yeah.
Like, those were the magazine girlies. Those were what society was catering to. And they are still in the mirror being like, my eyebrows fucked up. Like, my boobs are lopsided. I don't know. They was going in. Like, they were going in on
Right.
themselves. And I said, what?
Exactly. It's rough out here. And
Mm-hmm.
it just makes you really, really sad. I'm like, dang, like I really felt for them in that moment because it's like, girl, so confusing. Like, taken to Charlie
Yes.
XCX, like, is
Yes.
really brutal out here for it to be a girl. Um,
Absolutely.
so I really, that moment like deeply humanized them, like literally as children for me.
Uh-huh.
And that moment, like
Mm-hmm.
watching as an adult, because I'm like, holy crap, like that's so real. And after that moment, of course, Regina goes right back on her Regina things, and she kind of finds out that Cady likes Aaron, and she starts plotting to get Aaron back. And I think that that's absolutely diabolical.
Diabolical. You see the wheels turning in her head, and as someone who has lived through these situations in real time, watching the playbook, I'm like, that's where these heifers got it from.
Yeah.
They studied the tapes, because that's just some, like, art of war, like, advanced level tactics of, you didn't like the man. You didn't even like the man.
It's giving break up with your girlfriend. I'm bored. But like,
I'm
Katie's not officially a
bored.
girlfriend.
And it just wasn't a cute look for her. It wasn't a cute look for Miss Thing. But
I know.
she was right. She's like, if anything, if I was Katie, I'd have been like, she's right. Boys are too easy. Like, the fact that Katie still wanted him after she whip snapped his ass up, she lost a couple points for me.
And that's where
But
we get to my note
girl,
here
so
as
confusing.
well. Because I agree with you. Because my next note says also skip Aaron in bold
Skip
letters.
him.
Because I said he invited Katie to the party, offers to get her a drink. He goes to get it. He looks over and sees Katie waving at him, and then voluntarily kissed Regina back the second time that she kissed him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you did this knowing that Katie is looking at you. You
Yeah.
confirm that you know that Katie's looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second time Regina goes in for a kiss, he voluntarily kisses back.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Mm-hmm. And he fell for her lies, like her mist. She hit his ass immediately. Was like, yeah, she keeps your used tissues, and she wears a shirt that says Miss Aaron said. You know that woman better than anyone, and you don't think she could come up with a lie like that?
It's kind of a skill, like you said, the way she's quickly comes up with these lies.
Pathological.
It's almost impressive.
It's almost the CIA hire Regina George, and the FBI get her ass.
Take her talents to literally the FBI because holy cow, I'm like, girl, you are lie. And then at first Aaron is like, girl, cut the noise. So I'm like, okay, maybe he cool, right? You think he not gonna believe her?
He sees through it for a second,
but literally a second, and then something else takes over, right? And he's thinking of something else, and that is the literal demise of society.
Absolutely.
Men gonna be men, boys gonna be boys. They gonna think with one thing at the end of the day. Even Aaron, who's good at math, who cares about his family and friends, Regina, who seems like an overall solid, semi-decent, one of the semi-decent in the bunch. Even he is still just a boy. Still just a man.
You know what Beyonce said?
No,
she's just for a day.
Like what, Aaron? Like stand up.
Stand. You're on your knees at the middle of this Halloween party. Stand up.
And like, shout out to Cady's outfit, because at the end of the day, she was ahead of her time. Like, skip the whole like dressing like a thotty body. Like that was like
the teeth though. We could have, I think, lived without the teeth.
Right.
She had them chompers and chomp daddies.
Cady said, "Go hard or go home, bro."
But he clearly loved it. Like he was like, "Oh, she's real." You know,
and that was a green flag for me for Aaron, because he was like, "I like Cady how she is."
Yep, absolutely.
So it's like, how did you end up with a girl like Regina,
with the Ice Queen?
But at the end of the day, you're a boy. You're a boy.
Well, it's because they were each other's beards.
Clock that.
And that's for another episode.
No, for real. So like that really was like a turning point for me in the film. You know, again, watching it as an adult, where I'm like, Aaron, once again, 20 years later, you're still disappointing me. And like seeing Cady deal with the emotions of betrayal and jealousy after she sees Regina kiss Aaron is so real.
It hurts. It reopens the wound every time.
Bro, like I genuinely take on her feelings every time, and I'm like, yup, skip Regina.
You should have dragged that bitch by her big ass forehead down them fucking steps.
Dude, it should have been on site right then and there. Like, if you were a real one, Cady, but I know you're still learning. I know you're still learning, sweetie. But that's one of those
16,
moments.
We're only 16 years old.
Right. But I can relate to that, because there have been many times where I was still understanding like social cues. Like I said, I don't know why I was like, charter school was just such a sheltering experience for me. But once I got to high school, but once I got to high school and like I got my first 3-way phone call attack, that happened to me.
The sneak attack.
That happened to me.
Studied the tapes. Because they studied the tapes. They got
exactly. And like that almost impacted like me and Juwan's relationship in the beginning, like when we first started dating, because he told me something and then somebody called me. It was like, who told you this? And I'm like, Juwan, because I was innocent and I thought I'm just gonna tell the truth, but I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to say Juwan told me. So then Juwan called me and he's like, I was on the phone and I heard you say that I told you you weren't supposed to say anything, and I said, I didn't know.
My stomach hurts. My stomach hurt. I wasn't there, and this happened years ago. My stomach hurts.
I was a victim, just like Cady.
Crazy.
When you don't understand that, like the unspoken like do's or don'ts of high school, and you're thrown to the wolves, you end up like fight or flight, and you're like, okay. So Cady is learning in real time that like you can't trust these girls,
not a soul.
And when you learn that lesson for the first time, where you're like, dang, I thought we was friends, and you learn that a girl will quickly backstab you, it's devastation station at that point.
Stop, not Devastation Station.
No, for real. So
Population you, girl.
literally, like, so I felt Katie's pain right there because it's like,
Yeah.
what do you do? And then like once you grow and you get through that and like you build your tough skin and then you eventually be like, oh, now I wouldn't play. And you look
Right.
back and be like, then I should have, but you didn't
Shouldn't.
know.
Right.
Right. Like knowing that you didn't know then, that
Mm-hmm.
makes it even sicker because you're
Yeah.
like, if I could go back, I would have I want to ran across
Run
that kitchen
up, get
and
done up.
waft Regina in the head.
Absolutely. Who needs a bus? I'll break your back right now.
Exactly. Like Regina needed to get
DDT,
bopped, bro.
whatever. From the top rope, I'm coming
For real,
down.
because what do you mean you're telling me you're gonna talk to Aaron and then you kiss him?
It
And
just
then
none of it. Yeah. She like if anyone here had just talked to a single adult, we could have solved so many problems.
right. And it's
But not
like
the
at that
coach.
no, literally. But like at that point, if I was Cady, I would like
Mhm.
and I could go back in time, I would have bopped her in the kitchen because at this point we're not at school. Nobody can suspend me. I can't get in trouble. Run
There's
up, get
9
done
in
up
my
right now.
house. Mm-hmm.
Literally. So the fact that Cady like didn't immediately like run up on her and ran is like, okay, that she's going through this experience for the first time. She don't know no better.
Yeah, for sure.
So that kind of makes it even worse because
Yeah.
at that point, if she was more seasoned, then she could have like immediately ran up on her, but she didn't. So we
Yeah.
just go see her go through her first like devastation of not only like boy heartbreak, but then girl betrayal. Sometimes that hurts just as bad.
Double whammy.
Literally.
Double whammy. And it was a trifecta. It wasn't a like I know about and at the end of the day, it stems from again Regina's need to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
You know, I get her mom and dad might not be the best mom and dad, but it seems like her mom cares about her life and what she's doing.
And that's what confuses me because a lot of times, like, typically when you see kids like that, that's because they're not getting love or attention at home. But Regina
Right.
gets too much of it.
Too much, apparently.
So you would think that would suffice, but apparently not.
No, she's got to act out.
Exactly. So it's kind of sick, sicko mode, as I say.
Sicko mode.
But that's when Cady sees red, and she's like, "I've never felt this feeling before, like feeling female rage for the first time, like her heart pumping, like blood, like literally boiling." I was like, "Oh, Cady ain't playing with y'all." Okay. And that's when her and Janice and Damien say, okay, we're going to have an orchestrated plan so we can get back at Regina. But they struggle for like a month. And that was funny to me, like watching again, like them trying to cut up her tank top and then that becomes a trend. In real life, if students we walk around with like nipples cut out on their shirts, that wouldn't go.
No, they're going to jail.
We would immediately get a dress code violation.
They'd be making y'all wear chainmail for the rest of the year. Y'all'd be full head to toe, armored up if y'all try to pull some kind of shenanigans like that.
They're pulling out the TikTok and being like, And everyone walking around with their nipples out is like sick.
Solidarity, you know?
Right.
They can't take us all.
Exactly. So that was insane. And then like at that point they're still trying to sabotage her. So now, they're like, okay, well, if that's not working, like let's infiltrate by like getting through to her through like Gretchen and breaking Gretchen down mentally, which didn't take a lot of work.
No, isn't fair to Gretchen? Like, this poor girl was used and abused this year. Like,
bro, watching it again as an adult, I forgot how much Gretchen goes through psychological torment, probably just as much as Cady does.
Absolutely.
Like, poor girl. Like, she is literally having a nervous breakdown, doing her whole spiel in class, being like, and Caesar is not better.
Stab Caesar. Y'all, she's talking about murdering her best friend. I've seen this movie before. I've seen that Lifetime special. It don't end well. It's gonna end with her wearing Regina's skin. That's how that situation ends up.
Bro, for real. It was like that level of like demented. I was like, girl, like get over it. Like this is crazy. And
they
so
cracked
much
her like an egg though.
No, for real. I was like, dang, like I kind of feel bad for this kid. And then it gets to the point where we get to the like winter talent show and they have the like iconic Jingle Bell Rock performance by the Plastics. Now looking at it, I'm like, this isn't appropriate.
So bad. And can we also address how they clearly practiced it multiple times? And Regina, at the literal last second, switches up the whole choreo, the whole thing. And when she's like, this is not going to end well, I'm used to doing it the opposite direction. I was like, I don't. Di- cut the cameras because we need to get back in the
Literally.
writing room. What is going on here?
I know. And like that was Gretchen's 13th reason.
It And then guess what? She had 14, 15, and 16, girl, when she kicked that thing in that man's face. He deserved it, but she punted that. What was going on there? Get her on the soccer field. She needs to be punting. Get her on the football team. Because what kind of leg was that?
I wrote that down in my notes. I said when Gretchen accidentally kicks the radio and it hits Jason in the face, I used to laugh out
It's
loud as a kid.
so good. It's one of the best bits in the whole movie. Because
Literally.
he takes it to the.
Like that is crazy. I love physical comedy like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people are getting injured in that way, it makes me laugh. Or even like them throwing a shoe at Damien while he's performing.
Stop. Because what was that about?
But I like that he didn't go back down. He threw it back. He's like, y'all not gonna get me off the stage. This is my moment. The freak.
And that's a star. That's a star.
Exactly. Like y'all know better than to mess with Damien because he's not the one or the two. What? I love that he clapped back. And so that was like just crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, Cady saved the day because we are seeing her IRL like get that wittiness. She's picking it up.
Carey.
No, literally. So she's like, okay. I'm like, okay, Cady, like, period. Like, you picking it up. It's starting to clock to you.
She's
it's,
reading
it's
the
not
room.
clocking to you.
And she was what? Standing on business.
Mm-hmm.
She said, we're going to get this performance done. All right. I didn't come away from Africa to flop at the talent show.
Exactly. Right? This being my first type of talent show, she did exceptionally well under pressure.
With the last second routine change.
Exactly. So, you know, kudos to Cady on that one. And at that point we have like a pivotal moment in the film where that's when like Cady learns that like Regina is cheating on Aaron, which is so crazy. Cause like, girl, you wanted him and then you cheating on him. Mm-hmm. Gagatron. So then that's when they're like, okay, we're gonna try to get Aaron to catch her in the act. But then, like you mentioned earlier, they catch the gym teacher kissing a student.
Trang Pak. I have not forgotten that name since I heard it the first time I watched that movie in a double wide trailer in 2004 on the portable DVD player, girl. Coach, what is his name? Couldn't tell you. Trang Pak? I said, I want to be her when I grow up. I want to be her.
Literally.
She was my icon.
And it turns out that he's also like making out and hooking up with another girl in the same crew.
That's why he was separating them.
Yes.
The way your brain works, you just enlightened me in a level that I need a second to process emotionally, spiritually, physically. Because I always thought it was just to set up the bit of him being like, step away from the girls. You know, like you're a pedophile, step away. But it's because he was messing with both of them.
And I'm like, okay, we're in the hallway of all of these junior girls, and you find the two that you're messing with. I'm like, okay, right. So at that point, that is crazy, and we don't touch on that until later. So at that point, the only person that knows that this is going on is Cady and the crew, because Damien's the one that witnessed it.
What did they do about it? Put it in the burn book.
Right. Instead of telling authorities or an adult. So at that point it's still a secret, which is concerning. And then that's when Cady starts flunking math on purpose to get attention from Aaron, to the point where he starts offering to tutor her. And then that's when they kiss and he says, wait, like we shouldn't be doing this. Cady then spills the beans that Regina is cheating on him. So I'm like, okay, girl, like once again, you know, like Katie's starting to get really lost in the sauce at this point because it's like I don't really know if it was a good idea for her to spill the beans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, but then again, like their plan of getting Aaron to naturally catch it wasn't
Right.
working.
Was not working. And that pot was boiling over. Like she said, this tea needs to be spilled. I can't hold it
Right.
on. And
Exactly.
this really happens at the when you can really see the transition of her going full plastic. You
Yes.
know? Like that's the start of you being like, what happened to my girl? What happened to my
Right.
girl? Where'd she go?
She's actively losing herself at that point, and it starts really, like you said, getting crazy because then at that point Regina is distraught because
Mhm.
Aaron breaks up with her. She's also gaining weight due to the Swedish protein bars that Katie is sabotaging her with.
It's the only thing that fits right now.
Girl said she wanted to lose 3 pounds. How about gain
3.
10?
No, mama, I'm talking 30. She had to be throwing them things on.
Bro,
She was throwing those bars back like it was
she was
giving her
inhaling
life.
them.
It was
She was
giving her life.
inhaling those.
And then when she bumps into that girl in the cafeteria and the fat girl's like, watch where you're going, fat ass. I laughed.
I did too.
I laughed.
I did too.
I said, I'm built like an offensive lineman, but that's the funniest thing I have ever heard. Because because you have to remember it's 2004. And
Yeah.
they kind of focus on her ass, like on her butt. And like it does look like her butt got bigger. And that's like back when saying like you have a fat ass was like a diss.
Yes, because they do touch on that. Like later when the burn book gets revealed, somebody's like, "Yeah, sorry, like I said, you had a big butt," and I'm like, "Ladies, little do you know, 10 years come, that's gonna be a good thing. That money maker." No, for real, and like that was crazy. Like Katie sabotaging her with the Swedish bars, being like, "Everybody in Africa knows Swedish, right?"
If they weren't so stupid, they would have caught her there.
Exactly.
You can't just ask people why they're from Africa. Like
that line was so funny. And so like at this point we're also seeing like Gretchen is cracking, right? But then Cady is also going through a demented era, and Regina is also literally going through the gags now because
I was waiting for it. Say it, Kristen. They are going through the what? Gags.
Everybody's going through the gags at this point, right? Regina's like, I'm gaining weight. Aaron broke up with me. And she says, quote, I gave Aaron everything. And I was half a virgin when I met him. Half?
So that means you were just doing mouth and hand stuff, girl? What's going on?
Literally. That was a sick quote for her. And I'm like, girl, okay, right. And Katie's like, and at this point, like we said, Cady is so delusional after all of this that she thinks Aaron is going to immediately ask her to be his girlfriend, which like, girl, once again, you think you know, but you don't know nothing, Cady.
You don't.
You don't know nothing, sweetie.
You are new to the party and you don't even know the rules, girl.
Literally, like you don't even know the rules. Like you don't have the playbook, sister. You cannot pull a Regina and the way that Regina pulls a Regina when you don't got the sauce for real. Like you're trying to DIY it and it's not DIYing.
Get her ass. Damn, she's already bald, but keep going. Keep dragging her ass. That was good.
No, literally. So like at this point, Cady is literally delusional the house down because she's like, why isn't he asking me to be his girlfriend? Which girl, like he's recovering from heartbreak, hello?
Trauma, priorities.
Like even getting cheated on at that age is like hashtag not fun. So like he's going through it.
He's also a senior.
Oh, yeah.
He's also a grade level above them. He should be worrying about college.
Exactly. Which I'm like, hello? But right. So then at that point, Katie's like, okay, you know what? Aaron ain't doing what he needs to do. Let's speed this up. Let me throw a house party so I can impress him. But then she ends up puking on him, child, and she gets caught by Regina.
Been there. Who hasn't been there, huh? Who hasn't been in that exact situation where you're throwing up in your crush's lap in your bedroom of your 3-story home? I didn't understand what was going on there. But
oh my god, I know. And then it was kind of crazy to me because like from a movie standpoint, like she had just got a drink and then decided to go up to her room and then all of a sudden she's drunk enough to puke.
Right. Make it make sense.
I'm like, girl, you only had one drink.
My girl can hold her liquor. Yeah, don't do her like that.
I'm like,
why'd y'all play her? Why'd y'all play her? She's about that life.
Girl. I mean, maybe off camera she had like 2 more
What
before
they
that one.
what they didn't show is the mountain of powder she went through, the pack of backwoods she went through, the tray of Jello shots. So our girl was tooted and
Plus
booted.
hookah, I'm sure.
She had 3 hoses. We don't even know where the third hose came from.
Bro, I cannot do hookah. It makes me literally pukey every time. Like, it's something about.
It had its moment in 2010. Like when I was an undergrad, it was the girl. It was Miss Girl. Whenever we were trying to feel cute, but then like especially once COVID hit, ew, germs, gross, boo.
Yeah,
Who's trying to do all that? Not me.
exactly. I can't handle it. I don't know why it always makes me like physically feel like lightheaded and like unwell. But at that
Mm-hmm.
point, Katie said, I can't hold the liquor. So at that point, it is sick, sick, sick. Like
Yeah,
literally,
six six
literally.
six almost, girl. Just throwing up devil style on him.
No, for real. So now Regina is like, girl, what's going on right now? Like, I see you are with my ex. Like, what's going on? And then that's
Meanwhile,
when
her current man, the man she was cheating with the whole time, was with her, by her, behind
li-
her.
literally pulled up to the party with her.
Why were you ever entertaining Aaron? That man's about that life. He don't care.
Exactly. And
He
then
loved him
Regina,
some Regina. Anyways.
right. And then she finds out that not only is Katie, plotting on Aaron, but then she also finds out from her new boyfriend that the protein bars are for you to gain weight. So she's like, "Oh, girly pop, it's over for you." And at that point, Regina storms home, like you
That
mentioned
scream.
earlier,
That scream.
and it's a multi-shot scream.
It
Multi-shot
carried
scream.
her. It teleported her. She left him. The way he ran. Okay, first of all, he runs. She starts screaming. He runs. He runs. He's like, I'm not getting caught with this white woman yelling like that. Are you crazy?
Because imagine how erratically she drove home.
She teleported. I don't think she even got in the car. Her rage just.
Confirmed,
Just.
Regina's a witch.
I mean, clock that. But yeah, thank God no one was on the road. I'm assuming there couldn't have been anyone on the road between her and that house, because they would have been on the front of that car when she pulled into the driveway.
She would have had 2 bodies on that windshield for sure. Like the multi-shot scream took me out. And she's like, okay, girl, you want to play? We could play. She writes
Mm.
about herself in the burn book, tells the principal when she gets to school that she found it in the school somewhere, and she
In the
sets
bathroom,
Katie up. Yes.
like she uses public bathrooms.
Girl.
I need this principal to be serious.
No, for real. So now
He's
the
not those
principal
students.
is gagged and he's like, dang, like all the stuff in here is like pretty brutal. And at that point, as he's trying to like collect Katie, he's collecting Gretchen. What's the other
Mm-hmm.
girl's name? I always forget her
Infinity
name.
Stones, Karen.
Yeah, Karen. He's like, girls, what's up with this? Like, do you know anything
Y'all the
about
only ones
this?
not there. They were the
Right.
only 3 not in the book.
Exactly. So then at that point, while he's trying to investigate what's going on, a fight breaks out with all the girls, the junior girls in the school, because Regina prints copies of the burn book, scatters them in the hallway, and then that's when we have the moment where Coach Carr is breaking up the fight with the 2
Coach
girls that
Carr.
he's been hooking up with. And the
Don't
principal
worry,
is
I
like,
got it. I got this. He's like,
Coach Carr, step away from the underage girls.
with the bat, with the bat. Oh.
Literally. I said he needs to be arrested.
Coach Carr has fled the campus. Why did you tell these kids that?
I
Why
said,
did you tell the kids that?
like, when I tell you, I laugh and I'm like, words of Janae, this is not funny. This is not funny. But at the same time, it was, because I'm like, what do you mean this man fled
What do you
the
mean?
campus?
What do you mean?
He
Because if he
fled the
wasn't going to
scene.
turn himself straight into jail, then where did he go?
Literally. And I think they imply at the end that he did get caught. But like, holy crap. That moment was literally so insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you see all the cliques and the girlies are
The
falling apart.
north side to deal with this.
Like,
he's paying for those repairs. If I was a superintendent, you paying for that, sir. This is too much.
no, for real. And then that's when we have the iconic intervention. He calls all the junior girls in the gym and he says, I'm gonna keep you here all day. And the secretary's like, we can only keep him till 4 p.m. I'm gonna keep you here till 4 p.m.
when she holds her hand up and they're like, have you even been called a slut? And she's like, not you, Janine. Not you, girl. We're not talking about you.
Literally, and in
But
my notes, I said that once he holds the intervention and he says, "Let's talk about your lady issues," and one of them says, "I can't help it that I have a heavy flow." I don't know why I said vagina.
China. And he said, I'm unqualified. Okay.
Literally,
Let's
I'm
get a
like,
woman
that'll
in
do
here.
it. That'll
Let's get
do
a
it.
woman in here. That line, again, I was like, if I'm doing some quick math, I was 12 years old when that movie came out. And no, like when she said that, I said, I'm gay. Okay. Because what do you mean it's wide set? What the hell is a flow? Heavy? It just like my stomach hurts just thinking about it. It's in knots. What do you mean? Y'all go through too much.
Because if I recall, she said something like, "Was it because she uses tampons? Was
She
it?"
uses jumbo tampons. She's not a
Yeah,
virgin because she uses jumbo tampons.
right.
This
And I'm like,
thing, are you
okay, at that
sticking a
point,
whole roll of paper towels up there? What the hell are you
no,
talking about?
literally. But it's like that proves that like if girls are making fun of you for that, then we need to open up more of a
Open up the schools.
conversation.
Open up the schools. Open up sex ed. Like y'all need to
And then
learn
they
about your
have sex
body.
ed, but the only thing that the stupid gym teacher is saying is that you'll get chlamydia if you have sex. We're not learning
Just
about menstrual cycles.
if I called my brother in here right now and I said, "What is the one movie line I quoted the most our entire life?" He would say, if you have sex, you will get pregnant and die. Because the day I heard that, I would not shut up. Especially as we started getting older and like they started like getting into high school, I was like, "Don't have sex, you will get pregnant and die." Uh,
Yeah.
it really stuck with me. But what stuck with me even more is how he spelled gonorrhea wrong.
Oh my god,
And
literally.
he spelled it wrong.
No, it
Chlamydia.
was
Chlamydia.
chlamydia. He
It was
spelled
chlamydia
chlamydia with a
with a
K.
K,
I was like, heck, nah. Of course, this man is
sir.
messing with literal minors. Like, what an
Because
idiot.
he can't spell, and anyone his age is disgusted.
Right. So I'm like, the fact that they're bullying girls for having heavy flows, for needing jumbo tampons, it's like,
How
wait, let's
did she?
open up the education, guys. Some
Yeah,
girls have heavy flows,
gross.
unfortunately. You don't know if
And
she has
apparently going around telling everyone
endometriosis.
about it. I don't know, like what? Were
Right.
you going around being like, I'm using jumbo tampon? Like I just what? I feel like you offered up that information, baby girl. I feel like not to victim blame here, but I kind of feel like you offered up that
For
information.
real. Either that or somebody saw her period stash.
Mm,
Because if you're a girly, you know, like nothing is more
yeah,
embarrassing when you're in high school. And it shouldn't be embarrassing, right? It should not be, but
I
it
agree.
is,
Yeah.
unfortunately, is when you're on your period, you go to school and you have to have like your period stash. Like my mom made
Mm-hmm.
sure I had a little baggie with
Mm-hmm.
like tampons, pads, and stuff like that. So it's like clearly like these are, jokes that shouldn't
Right.
be jokes. Like she shouldn't be made
No.
to feel bad.
Right. She's not something she could change. If it's something you can't change in 15 seconds, don't talk about it.
Right. Like she could have like uterine fibroids. Like you don't know what's going
You don't. The gynecologist barely knows, girl. Like
And that's literally the tea. Okay. Women's health care is still like
it's
severely
sad.
freaking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
laugh, but it's sad. We cry.
and you know me, I'm a laugh through the pain. Okay. But that moment was like literally crazy because it's like, okay, let's wake it up, guys. Like, we need menstrual like
Wake it
knowledge.
up.
Okay, these girls need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that was pretty sad to me. But then after that, he was like, okay, like you said, he's like, I'm not qualified. Let me go ahead and ask Miss Norbury to talk to the girls. And that's when Regina tries leaving the intervention. And Miss Norbury says, how many people have been personally victimized by Regina George? I was like, oh my God. And the fact that even the faculty, the staff raised their
Was her
hand.
y'all are adults, that's embarrassing for y'all. Stand up.
Literally, like the principal slowly raising his good hand. I'm like, child, this is too much. And that's when
Mm-hmm.
they have like the other infamous exercise where they apologize publicly to girls that they wronged.
Say it, because I'm about to say it.
She
Say
doesn't
it.
even go here.
What was that woman doing there?
Dude, I wrote
Where did
down
she come from?
the random girl says she wishes that she could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles, and Damien yells she doesn't even go here, and she gets kicked out. Is iconic. I have a she doesn't even go here sticker on my laptop like today.
And that's iconic. That is definitely
Exactly.
like the titular like quote of the movie. She
Right.
doesn't even go here.
But it's crazy because it's like, how does she get in when she
Where
doesn't
did she
attend the
come from?
school?
Where did
But
she go?
also, where did Damien come from? Because Damien's not supposed to be
Him in the back of at the top of the stadium with the hoodie on. When he
like we don't know that's you. Like I'm assuming
he's
he's the
almost too
only
gay to function.
openly out gay guy, so we know it's you, Damien.
We know it's you, sir. But they let him stay. They know he's one of the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
What I wanted to mention was who put the girl with the wheelchair up there?
Bro. And that's like, that's one of
Why
those
did
moments
she
that's
try
not
to
supposed.
wheel off? Now that is unfortunately a joke I think that would also be allowed today. You know, because like objectively funny as shit. You're telling me we had to go through so many loops of getting her up there and then her rolling herself off, crushing whoever was in the audience, and no one was like,
Right. And I don't think the platform had like a rolling up
They
platform.
had a
It had
step. They had
steps.
to lift her. They had to lift her by the wheels to drop her.
Exactly. Or either someone took her out, carried her up there, put her wheelchair up there, set her back in her wheelchair. Either way, I know you want to make her feel included, but letting her do the trust fall is sick.
Oh, please.
At that
Justice
point,
for my girl because she was real. I remember her being like, like during the big fighting scene or whatever, some girl was like, why'd you say that about me or whatever? She's like, because it's true. Like, I was like,
because one thing about it, the girls, I had a girl that was like one of my friends, that was in a wheelchair. The
mm-hmm.
girlies in wheelchairs, like shout out to my girlies in wheelchairs because like we don't talk about that their community enough. They always gonna keep it a buck. I don't know what it is about the
100.
girlies in the wheelchairs, bro, but
They
they
don't
are
care.
blunt.
Absolutely. I had a friend in grad school who was in a wheelchair who like I could never be ungrateful about my legs because she would be like she would look or she would like wiggle her I'm like, I'm sorry, girl.
I love my wheelchair girlies, like so serious. Even down to like little Nessa Rose from Wicked.
Little Nessa Rose.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram, and her parents run her
Yeah.
account.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing her, I think her name is Cicely or something like that. Seeing her like
Not
go to
Cicely
like
Tyson.
movie, yes. Wait, is it? I don't
No,
know.
girl.
Well,
Cicely
that's that black
Tyson.
lady thing.
Hold
Like,
on.
yep, that's
Keep
it.
going. Oh, that's a what is the
No,
name?
that's
Keep going.
okay. Yes, please find that. We need like boots on the ground research because clearly I don't know what I'm talking about.
Where's Jawan?
Uh,
He's not doing anything right now.
no, literally playing the game. Um,
Always playing those
but
damn games.
I love that little girl. And her Instagram, she always goes to like movie premieres. You know, she does like bookings, photo shoots. Like that little
I
girl in
love
a
seeing her on the
wheelchair.
carpets too.
And like the way she poses in her little wheelchair, her head is always cocked to the side. I'm like, this is a star.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love like a young, like potential little child
Cecily
actor.
Coletta. No, seriously. Something about her. She's a gem. We have gotten in the weeds though, my friend.
Yeah.
Her name is Cecily Collette Taylor. So you're right.
Yes. Right,
You're
Cecily.
right.
She's so adorable. Like, and then now
So
it's to the point where her
yes.
parents start adding her commentary like on the little things she does.
Aw.
So like now we get her thoughts and like let's say she goes to the aquarium and she'll be like, I love looking at the fishes. I'm like, stop. Like she's so cute.
She deserves the world.
No, seriously. I wonder if she's gonna be like in the second film, if we're gonna have more flashbacks from Nessa Rose.
We
Because I
better.
need to see my girl.
We better. John
No,
Cho. Director John Cho.
literally, John, like wake it up, okay? But yeah, like shout out to my wheelchair baddies for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene was like crazy. And then I also thought it was funny during that moment where Karen apologized to Gretchen for laughing at her because she got diarrhea at Barnes and Noble. And I looked that up and it says the Barnes and Noble poop theory. Have you heard of it?
It's yes.
It's
yes,
real.
Ma'am. It's real.
It's called the Mariko Aoki phenomenon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm a victim.
Cut
Let's
the
keep it a
cameras.
buck.
I'm a victim. That's why I don't read books, because you're not gonna catch me doodling myself at the Barnes and Nobles.
Bro. And me and my sister have talked about this before, and it's like we've had our fair share of Barnes and Noble bathroom trips. I don't know what it is, but it's like
Barnes and Noble's
every
bowel
other
movement,
time, yes, I go to Barnes and Noble, I gotta hit up the bathroom, and I hate using public
and
restrooms.
does yours have a coffee place in it?
Yes, a Starbucks.
And if you get the Starbucks ahead beforehand, you definitely gonna have to do some restroom visiting.
That's why I
You
get it on the
know,
way out. We have a strategy and a plan.
you are a woman with a brain and you use it, and I
Exactly.
love that, because I, as a man with a brain, do not use it. I'm using that other brain. You know what I'm saying?
We still love you.
As
We
Kevin
still love
Gates
you.
once said, "For all
But
my
no,
Gates girlies."
no, he's another beast. But yeah, I have been a victim of that phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know what it is about a Barnes and Noble that's gonna do that, but it
Mm-hmm.
is real. And I just thought that was so funny. Like even in 2004, they talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, right. So then after that, that's when Janice goes up during the intervention and she exposes the tea in front of everyone about their plan from the beginning to ruin Regina. And Regina
Mm-hmm.
runs out of the gym and then gets hit by a bus as Cady tries apologizing.
What? To find out everyone hates me? Well, everyone thinks you're a homeschool jungle freak. Oh,
So at that point, is it karma?
I mean, we couldn't have had a better physical representation of getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
You know, and if it had to happen to anyone, it should have happened to Regina. She started this whole thing. She created this culture. She thrived off of this culture, and unfortunately, it had to come to an end with you getting your shit rocked, with getting your skip you rocked. You know what I'm saying?
A spine fracture is crazy, bro.
Living that. What do you
And not
mean?
being and still being able to do sports after.
You were at prom the week later? Okay, first of all, yes. Contact sports. You had your spine fused together and you out here body checking people?
Yeah, let's clock it. That's just another unrealistic situation that they threw into the
Ah,
film.
yeah.
You know, because like I always say, like I watch films from my dad's lens, and he's like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's technically not possible," and I'm like,
Actually, it's like, Dad, please.
or like whenever he pauses and he'd be like, "See, this shot, he didn't have his hat. The next shot, he's got his hat on." And you're like,
Love him. No, I would
"Hey,
love to watch a movie with him. That sounds like a blast.
yeah." He always clocks little stuff like that, and so in that moment, watching it again as an adult, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Girl, you talking about you got a spine fracture and you went to prom?"
Prom.
She should have still been in the
Snatched.
hospital.
She should have no. She absolutely. She should have been morphined up. She should have been in a full body SpongeBob cast. You know, like just like put out.
It makes me think
But
about like the
no.
movie Grown Ups. Have you seen that moment where that guy has that full body?
And then mind you, this is technically. I guess it's technically their prom. It's a spring fling. It's not even. They don't even call it the prom. It sounds like homecoming, but in the springtime.
Almost like Sadie's is what we had.
Yes, it was giving Sadie Hawkins tea.
Yeah, because our Sadie's was in like February or something.
Yeah, and I'm
So
like,
it's
y'all
like it
turning out
doesn't.
for that?
Yeah, it doesn't give that this is supposed to be like May or whatever.
Right, the end of the year.
Regina should have technically had still been in the hospital at that point and like had to learn how to walk again.
Absolutely. But hey, but through her sheer determination and her defiance of the laws of physics themselves, she said, I'm going to. She should have been a wheelchair girly.
Exactly.
She
That
should have been she should have been a powerized, souped up scooter at that damn prom.
because you know her family can afford it. So if you got to think about the
Absolutely.
nicest scooter that money could buy, Regina would have it,
But
and
no,
it'd be
she
like
was.
bedazzled.
Yeah, but no, she was good. She was good.
I'm like, girl, them decorating her like brace.
Her cage.
I'm like, okay, period.
She
And like we see that immediately humbles my girl. She's
mm-hmm.
immediately humble. Like it's an instant like
She had
personality
a near
switch.
death. Yeah, she saw fire and didn't see gates, and she got nervous. All right, she said,
Yeah.
I need to switch up my act because I don't want to go down. All right, I want to go up. I want to go to
Right.
the I want to go to the good place."
She said, "You know what? Let me give my life over."
She saw fire. She was like, it's hot. And then she came back in that hospital bed. She said, I gotta switch it up for good.
She said, "Lord." Cause what? And
She
she showed up
said,
to that prom and she acted like she had some sense. I tell you that. She
absolutely.
she she didn't cut it to anybody. She barely talked at that prom as she should, and that's what it was on minding your
Well, because her
business.
jaw was wired shut.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Like it probably should have been. She
Imagine it really
physically.
was. That would have been even more gaggy if she would have had like a head situation, like a bro. Oh my god, that would have been so good. But like that is insane. And
Yeah.
so after she gets hit, like we said, she should have been wheelchair bound, but nevertheless she persisted. And at that point we learned that Katie's punishment for starting the rumor that her teacher was selling drugs was to join the mathletes. We see her join the mathlete. She serves cunt at the competition period. They end up going to prom, and she's like in her mathlete's gear, even though she's technically grounded. That was funny to me. Her dad
Her
being like,
parents didn't
"What?"
know. Okay, first of all, she was raised in Africa, not you. What do you mean you don't know what punishment or grounding is? He's just like, I'm the buffoon dad, and she's like, I'm the bitch mom. Like, can we have
Right.
something here? Because y'all want to argue about how neglectful Regina's parents were. Let's talk about how neglectful the damn homeschooled African child being sent and left to her own devices in American public school. Let's talk about those parents.
And then it's like interesting to me because even after all of that, like Regina gets hit by the bus, they have a family dinner, and that's the first time that we even see her like since then having a moment with her family after she's like gone plastic. And her mom's like, "I don't even know who you are anymore." And it's like, girl, this is not the time to have this conversation. You should have had this conversation like 3 months ago.
Literally, because it was a gradual descent into insanity.
And if you were paying attention to your child, then you would have noticed it.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, girl,
and it's now a good time to point out that I feel like she spent more time hanging out with the plastics than she did with Janice and Damien. So, like, how do they have any type of friendship? Like, what is going on there? Y'all don't know each other. Y'all don't even know who each other are outside of hating Regina.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. It all just.
And I think that's the thing that I hate about movies, where it's like now it's implied that they hang out more off camera than what they really do. But it's like, girl, show us then
something.
Because when she pulled up to that party and Janice was like, "Here, I won the competition," and it's a picture
I
of them
didn't give a
three.
shit. Yeah.
It's like you said, as an audience, how are we supposed to feel bad or care? We haven't even seen the full dynamic of this friendship trio.
Yeah, because at this point, I'm still concerned. I'm still convinced Janice is the bad guy. Y'all the one who enabled her and set her up and set her loose. And like,
okay, yeah, let's talk about that, because this conversation, I think, is like something that people could debate for a long time. You know, it's like, who's the real villain? Is it Janice? Is it Regina? Or is it Cady? Because as Damien is driving around in that car and he's like, "Girl, I got curfew," Janice is like, "You're just a bitch. You're just a plastic. You're cold, hard plastic." But then Cady, her rebuttal says, "Well, girl, you started this. You wanted me to be this way." But then at that point, is it Katie's responsibility to reel it in when she feels like she's going too far? Yes. But at the end of the day, you're all children. You're all children.
And that's what it all boils down to. They needed some diaries or Tumblr.com. They needed something to get these emotions out, because what y'all was doing needs to be studied by psychologists, therapists, war criminal, like the tactics y'all were employing were downright devious.
For real. So that conversation between Janice and Cady is like, both of them are making valid points.
They're both right. They're both right and they're both wrong.
Yeah. And I always say, those two things can be true at once, and unfortunately that's the situation.
Exactly.
They're both right, they're both wrong. So is Regina. And I'm glad that, at the end of the day, kind of everybody overall realized, hey, each and every single one of us was doing too much.
Yeah.
We were all doing a lot. And so, once we get to the spring fling, Katie's in her mathletes gear. She's like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
teed up. We won. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, surprisingly, Katie wins Spring Fling Queen. In reality, I don't really think that a new girl could take over and dominate that
No.
quickly enough.
No. 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 She had everyone had like everyone else had all this time to build up this fashion journey, you know, and Katie just showed up out of nowhere and she takes the crown. But you know what that proves? Misogyny is alive and well. She brought out the put that because when their guys are voting, when the guys are voting at the damn spring fling, and he's like, I'm voting for Regina because she got hit by a bus. And the other guy's like, I'm voting for Katie because she pushed her. I guarantee you that that block, that voting block, blew it out for Katie. Like they probably unionized. They probably got out the vote. You know what I'm saying? They had like email chains going on. They had a headquarters because they were about that life. They supported her
No,
for
for real.
almost allegedly murdering another student.
Cause she talking about people thought they said they saw her head spin. I'm like,
She's up on
okay.
the stage right now. You think her head spun around and she's gonna be up on that stage right now?
No, literally. So I'm like, okay, well, this is sick. And
Mm-hmm.
somehow, Katie wins. And then, of course, she has her little
Mm-hmm.
sentimental moment where she's breaking up the crown. She's like, you get a piece, you get a piece. She's on her over teens. So we're like, okay, period. And that's like a redemption moment. I can't be
Yeah.
too hard on Katie there because
Yeah.
she realizes and so does everybody else, like, you know what? Let's keep it cute with each other. Like, let's be nice, to each other. And that's when, Katie walks over to Aaron, they kiss. At that point, I'm over it with Aaron, child.
Over it with that gay boy.
No,
That is a
seriously.
gay man. Before he even came out, I was like, "That's
Right.
I'm calling you gay because you are gay." Like,
Like, Katie, you still want that? Like you said earlier, like, ooh.
stand up, girl.
No, literally, both of y'all need to stand up, like at this point. But I
Mm-hmm.
guess they want each other, so that is what that is. And then Janice and Damien kissing and cringing
That
right
was
after.
so unnecessary.
Like, why did y'all write that?
That was
Seriously,
so unnecessary.
like
Nobody needed to see
Damien has
that.
been saying he's been gay since literal day one, and then you
Day
make them
one.
kiss.
Almost too gay to function. No, not a romantic bone in their bodies.
I'm like, okay, right.
Right.
And then after that, they show like the next school year, and the movie just basically ends up with the plastics breaking up. Like you said earlier, Regina joined sports, and the drama is all over. And I really like the last shot where like they're all hanging out in the schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's with Damien, and Janice is with her new boo from the mathletes, and even Karen is hanging out with them as
Mm-hmm.
well, braiding the girl in the wheelchair's hair, I think.
Yes.
And then Regina passes by. They're like, "Hey, Regina."
Mm.
They wave, and I'm like,
Looking like a college
"Oh,
admissions ad. Looking like a textbook. You got the gay, the bi, the interracial, the wheelchair girl. Like you got the blonde. You got like they couldn't have painted a better picture.
no, for real. Like, skip the clicks. Like, we're literally like together. We are one on
We're
some High School
kumbaya.
Musical teams.
We are the world type shit.
Literally, like, no Michael Jackson. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better place.
Cut it.
It's like, what? And then they show like the new junior plastics, and they almost get hit by a bus. I'm
Now
like, what is
that
it with buses in this film?
the bus drivers need to be fired. The bus drivers, why are y'all driving like that in a school zone? Why are you driving like that outside of school? They were
I've
going
never
60.
I've never seen a school bus on school property take off that quickly.
So,
I'm
no one on
like,
the bus. Where were you going? All the kids are at school. Why are you driving like that?
hello? We need to wake it up. And I feel like if they would have
You
had a
need to
moment
wake it up.
where they showed the bus drivers, they probably would have like wrote it into the film that like the bus driver was like drunk. Because once again,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because that again reminds me of Grown Ups, where they had that moment where Adam Sandler like gets on the bus and his friend is like the bus driver,
Mhm.
and he's drunk, so he has to like take over for the day and do the route himself. Like,
Like, hmm.
what?
So what we're learning here is that that they were inspired heavily by Mean Girls. The
Yeah.
entire Grown Ups franchise.
Right. I need to talk about Grown Ups because I really love those
And I'm gonna be here like
films.
the whole time.
Oh my god. But yeah, like that is Mean Girls 2004
That's Mean Girls.
classic.
Woo!
Bro, that film, like I said, watching it again in 2025 truly took me on a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoy watching this movie every single time. But I think watching it from a different lens of like knowing that I'm going to dissect it on the pod was
Exactly.
a
Like
different
homework.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. You know, even
Yeah.
Juan was like happy to watch it with me. And he's like, okay, yeah, this is like different watching it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
But like so many themes of like you said, like mental health needed to be discussed in this. We needed a
Sex ed class, a genuine.
right. Get that let's get that in order. Now that the teacher
Wake
has
that
gym
up.
teacher has been arrested.
Like, whoa.
We need
It just there's
genuine
so many layers to the pedophile teacher teaching the sex ed class and not
right.
knowing what chlamydia is spelled. It's just like, oh my god,
It's like
men are
you're
sick. Lock them up.
right. Like so many of these people, these characters needed like help and were deeply troubled, even like you said, down to the adults.
Yeah,
Right. But I think that's kind of like what makes the movie like comedic gold is that like everyone
absolutely.
is so deeply troubled and messed up. And at
Mm-hmm.
some point towards the end, they do have, you know, growth.
Yeah.
And that's like the redeemable quality about it. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
were sick.
Y'all were. It wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good. But hey, y'all worked it out. And all it took was the mean girl getting run over by a bus. Who
No,
knew?
quite
Who knew it was
literally.
that easy?
And the entire junior class of girls fighting each other like animals in the hallway.
That was a turf war gang fight. That was not the girl that was stuck on the door. And when he
No,
goes to help her down, she kicks him. What?
like hello? Like I don't know, but so now that we finished covering it, would you say that this movie like still holds up as like a good film?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the concept of that movie in a reboot makes me sick to my stomach because you
Yeah,
you can't mess with perfection, and I don't consider the musical to be a reboot because it's a musical. It's a whole different entity. They're
right.
but the original one, if the bones are good, leave them where they are in the
Right.
ground. Kidding.
No, for real. Yeah, I agree with you. I still think that after all of these years, it's been what, 20
Hmm.
years of this film, that
Yeah,
it's still really good. It's
yeah.
still like enjoyable for me to watch every
Hmm.
single time. And I truly think that like it's an unfortunate, accurate depiction of a very real reality for a lot of high school students.
Hmm. To this
So
day,
yeah,
to this day, that story
literally.
hasn't changed a bit.
I
It's
know.
just Riz and Skibbity Toilet and all that. Like it's
If I had to be in
six
school right
seven.
now with people
It's
saying
all
6'7", I might
six
end it all.
seven. I'll just be like,
Because me and Juan were saying that we were like, I could not be a high school student in 2025.
no,
I'm not strong enough.
no. With the vapes and the boofing and whatever the kids are doing these days, it's just like,
It's too much.
yeah, I'm gonna go stay home read my book.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, well this was so much fun. I just really appreciate you
Yeah.
coming on and chatting with me about this. Like, this has been such a long time coming, but I'm just really excited about how this turned out and I had a blast.
Absolutely. No, thank you for having me. You're truly one of the funniest people I know. I've told you, I've watched your content over multiple times. Like, I've watched you and Joanne's Love Island. Was it Love Island? What were you talking about? It was
Yeah.
Love Island, right? I watched that, and I've watched that one 3 times. I've watched you and Janae twice so far. Just because, like, when I'm at
Oh.
work and I'm like, I need something that I know is going to make me laugh and not distract me because I have 2 monitors. I'll throw or your coloring content. Like, I'll throw whatever I can because we are getting those numbers up. no matter if I have to do it myself or not.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Like your support just means the world to me. Like you're truly the best, like a true gem. So guys, make sure that you follow Mr. Gerald Lee. He's amazing. Let the girlies and gays and nays know where they can find you.
Yes, y'all can find me on every platform except for OnlyFans for now. Twitter, no, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not even on there. Let me stop lying. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Gerald with 2 D's, Lee with 3 E's. It's gonna be right here, right over Kristen's head somewhere.
Yes. I'll
I
actually
don't
make sure I
know.
put everything in the description for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just trying to
So
make her do more editing work. I'm trying to make her do more in post. She's gonna give me double horns, and she's gonna make me. Kidding. But yes, please follow me on there. I love to support the girls, the gays, and there's specifically the girls of color, the gays of color, like any the more oppressive minority you think you are, I'm ready to root for you. I'm ready to platform you. I'm ready to shout your name to the heavens, because we need more of those viewpoints and that type of artistry just in the universe.
yeah, that representation is so necessary, and I just love that you believe in me and believe in the message.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and follow him. His content is absolutely incredible. I love watching his YouTube channel as well. We get fun vlogs over there. We even get welcome to the stage, Delta Tuft's hand. Okay, he's got the drag persona. Like we get everything over there.
Yep.
So yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the episode, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, rate that 5 stars, and leave a review on Spotify and Apple. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.